Nowadays, buying a property in Spain to rent it out has become a very popular option for those who are looking to get additional income through short-term or even long-term leasing. However, as with any investment, there are advantages and also disadvantages that should be carefully considered before taking the step of buying the property. In this video, we will explore what a holiday property is and how taxation affects to this investment to rent it. So to start, a lease rental for a use which is different than living on a long-term basis is what we considered renting an apartment or a property for touristic purposes. So when you rent a property for touristic purposes, you can offer a series of complementary services. But before buying the property, you must check if that property can get a license to be offered as an apartment touristic. Basically, you need to check or get a license if you are going to rent it out to tenants less than a month, and also you are going to advert it into the online platforms. What kind of services you can give in order to be a touristic apartment? The first one is a cleaning of a property on arrival and departure of tenants. Also, change of linen in the flat or the property, and the arrival and the departure of tenants. Cleaning the common areas of a building, entrance hall, stairs, lifts, elevators, as well as the urbanization in which is located the property that you bought, like green areas, like exit gates, even though the pavements on the streets. And if you are offering services like technical assistance, like a plumber, electricity, like glass is broken, like electrical appliances. The income that you get from touristic rentals is in general income from real estate capital. So it is not considered as a professional activity. So it is not charged value-added tax. But anyone who rents the property could be considered as a professional. However, those tourist properties in which the landlord does not provide services similar to hotel industry are exempt in value-added tax. So the landlord, the owner, do not have to submit and pay value-added tax. How this is treated to owners? If you are a European Union citizen, you will have to declare your income minus the costs, and whatever is the profit will be charged 19%. You must submit the declarations quarterly and pay accordingly. If you are a non-European Union citizen, you will have to submit quarterly the income that you may get and pay 24% of your gross income. So you will not be able to deduct any cost you have if you are a non-European Union citizen. However, if the services that you provide, and this is important, are specific to the hotel industry, the income you get from the rental should be considered income from economic activity. It is really an activity. The services could be, among others, like a reception and permanent and continuous attention to the client in a place designed for that purpose. Also, a day-by-day, a periodic cleaning of a property and the accommodation. Also, a day-by-day, or periodic change of bed and bath linen, as well as provision of other services for the client, like laundry, like luggage, like storage, press, reservations, and even sometimes the provision of food and as well obviously catering services. If services typical of the hotel industry are provided, like similar to the hotel industry, the rental of the apartment, of the flat, is not exempt on value-added tax, so it should be taxed. At a reduced rate, we will be charged on 10% as a similar or hotel establishment. Tourist rental then must therefore be distinguished from hotel services. Are you renting it as a tourist rental, or you are doing it as a service with similar to hotels? In this sense, accommodation services are characterized by the fact that they are extended to customer care beyond the mere use of a property. Let me give you a couple of examples. First scenario, the owner, you buy the property and the owners rent the property to the final client. So you advert into the online platforms and you rent it out directly to the client. If you are providing services as the hotel business, then value-added tax should be charged. If it's not the case, then value-added tax should not be charged, and the lease is obviously exempt on value-added tax. And if it's the service similar to a hotel, then value-added tax needs to be taxed and included 10% value-added tax. As I said, quarterly value-added tax return must be submitted. You have to get paid value-added tax and then you have to pay it to the government. And obviously you have to therefore declare the difference between the amount that is being charged to the client to on the lease and the amount paid on expenses. Obviously you have to keep the books of invoices issued and received. And there is a special scenario, and because of buying a property, of a new property where you pay 10% value-added tax, that obviously on economic activity as a professional will be able to be claimed back and pay it to you. It has some special conditions and some special requirements which I'm not going to explain now, but obviously it's very profitable in case that you have paid a large amount of value-added tax. Another scenario that could be considered is when the owner, and this is probably what is more normal, the owner leaves the property to a management company. That company is going to manage to the rental to the final clients. So the owner leave it to the management company, agrees a price, fixed price, maybe variable price, where the owner will have to make an invoice to that management company every month or whatever has been agreed, and charging also 21% value-added tax because you are doing it as a professional activity. Then the management company, which will rent out the property to the client, will charge 10% value-added tax to the client if they provide the services that I have already described above as a hotel services. If it does not give hotel services or similar hotel services, then the rental will be exempt from value-added tax. As well as I explained before, you must also file a quarterly value-added tax return and keep accounting books. In these cases, you as a professional activity, you charge 21% on the management company. Whenever you are paid, you are retained, deducted 19%, which is not paid to you if you are a European Union citizen, or 24% if you are non-European Union citizen. And then as well, you will have to receive value tax and pay it to the government. In summary, this may be a little bit complex, but the choice of most appropriate tax scenario obviously will depend on the specific circumstances on each individual case. Management of holiday rentals or properties that you buy to rent on a tourist purpose can be a profitable activity, but it is important to do it in a professional and responsible way. Tax, legal, and any operational aspect must be taken into account before starting this real estate activity. So we highly recommend that you obviously consult a legal and tax advisor for each individual advice. Thank you.